Alright, what's up, y'all? Just so you don't take me too seriously. Woo! Yeah, I got some freaking Apollo in the back. Yeah, we're pretty fucking lit right now. True story. Damn. So, as promised, I got this whole little time traveling trip that I was on for a little while. I'll tell you how it started. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a Christian, diehard Christian. I may not be as, clean as all the other guys, but I believe that Jesus is the Savior, that his Father is God, and he rose from the dead, and those that believe this are probably not going to die, they're going to live forever, blah, 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 blah. Now, the way you believe this is because, Jesus either gives you the proof to believe this, or you have this faith that you wasn't really duped by these pastors or what have you, or by any evangelists, but you've gotten your prayers answered from time to time. You've seen some sort of proof. You feel it in your soul. You feel in your soul that you will not be going to hell because of Jesus, and that's a good thing, right? So that's where my time travel thing started. Alright, I'm a time traveler from the year 2020. Okay? Time travel year 2020. Now, we're going to keep it real. In this world, I've never time traveled. I don't remember time traveling. I don't think I've ever tried it. It's not going to happen, right? Have I had crazy dreams with aliens and shit and, past, being able to go to the past? Absolutely. And that's another thing. So, what started it, is like, prophecy. As a Christian, you know about prophecy. You know about Revelations, the mark of the beast, and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, the lake of fire. If this person takes that mark, they're going to hell, right? Blah, 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 blah. And you know about prophets in the Bible. You start with Moses. You go all the way to Isaiah, Jeremiah, Elijah. Elijah is notable because of that whole chariots of fire thing. You know what I mean? The whole thing. There's like wheels of fire. Nobody knows what those were. Some people thought it was aliens or UFOs or whatever. You know what I mean? They did that. The Pleiades and Orion is mentioned in the Bible. David is considered a prophet because he was under I wouldn't say the influence, but he had the Spirit of God in him, and he was able to, I wouldn't say use it, but the Spirit of God was able to speak through him, through his songs, and he became the king. He became the king, and that was not even by default. That was because he really was like sitting around all day watching them lambs. Like, I wonder if God going to hear this new joint I put out. You know what I mean? And that was in ancient days. So prophecy goes like, then you have prophecy also mentioned Apollo in Greek mythology. And now the way those prophecies work most of the time, the Greek and Jewish, is they would have a seer, or a person that's like, I wouldn't say deep into black magic, so to speak, but deep into nature. They knew how to, I wouldn't say manipulate nature, but they could read nature through divine spirits. The divine spirits would give them a certain amount of energy to figure all stuff out. And they would be able to tell people what's going to happen in the future if they don't get their shit together. All right? That's how it used to start. If they don't get their shit together, this is going to happen. And somehow they had insight into that stuff. I think that's what it's called, insight. You know what I mean? Insight. And the Mayan people, they had a calendar of maybe a estimate on when everything was just going to be done. They knew that this was not going to last forever. A lot of wise people know that this is not going to last forever. Everything that you see, the world changes periodically. We don't know whether the world is going to change or the world is going to simply end. All right? But we do know that the world changes. So whatever your world is probably got a time limit. Everything has a time limit, I'm a rapper. You know, I was in like a crew called Mind Spray, and we did like this thing called the New World Slide Order. We didn't know what to call it at first. It was just me and a homie. I think his name was Concept. Yeah, can't forget that guy, Concept. And we made like about. I'll tell you the story. We made about 5 songs, right? I had like serious split headaches making these songs, right? And I don't know what happened between after making these songs and performing, but somehow we had all this material to how we was going to present this material. And for some reason, we presented it in a way where it was like, okay, you know what? We're time travelers. And I'm looking at him like, cool, that's a great idea. You know, like, we're time travelers for the year 2020. All right, tell me more. Okay, Bush gets reelected like twice. Like, this is after Bush got reelected before, you know? And I'm like, okay, this is, you know. Me personally, I'm Mr. Conspiracy Theorist, my damn self. So, you know, in this crew, we had like about 20 guys, basically, that, you know, did a million different things. And we had a million more different conspiracy theories about everything, from the government to UFOs to, you know, nature itself. So we just was those guys. So this is like the leader of the crew, and I was honored to be there because I was like one of the founding members. So I was like, all right, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. It's going to be it. So he got a bunch of gas masks, right? listen. Got a bunch of gas masks and Tyvek suits. And we're like, listen, this is stuff that we always think in our head as far as the conspiracy theories. It's going to be this nuclear war. There's going to be aliens coming to pick up the remains. And somehow, some way, there's going to be some fucking time traveling going on. So that was the whole gimmick. All right, that was the gimmick. So it's like 2020. It's 2019 right now. So believe me, I'm sitting here like, as real as it felt for me as an artist making this shit, I hope we get to 2020 without a single nuclear war. That's all I know. I don't care who does it. I don't care where it started, but we know that that's one of the main issues. It was that race war, and I think it was, bioweapons definitely was an issue. And the term limits thing. I'm definitely on top of that one. And there was one more. The police state thing. You know what I mean? So, listen, it's 2019. Everything looks like it's a go. Looks like we did what we did. If we did what we did. And honestly, I don't think we did anything. We just was some rappers trying to spit some shit and trying to, you know, bring awareness to certain shit. And global warming is a big fucking revelation. At the same time, you know, we smoke a lot of weed, bro. Just like, light up. You know what I mean? So, with that said, I'm going to continue. Now, speaking of global warming, I'm right on top of that. I got a little list here. So, right on top of global warming and population control. So, this is time traveling investigation. Are you ready? Time travel investigation. That's the intro. We ready to go. So, what happens is when the temperature gets over 70 or something like that consistently, you know, this whole gay shit goes out the window. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still going to be a lot of gays, from what I understand. But it's going to be like, you know, people are going to be half naked a lot more than necessary. And that's going to cause a big baby boom. All right? Big baby boom. I don't know whether the glaciers is going to fall out. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. Because if there's a big baby boom, there's going to be a big food shortage. And if there's a big food shortage, there's possibly going to be a big containment shortage. These are all natural occurrences that are probably going to happen anyway. At the same time, what we would like to do is either change them little by little or figure out some way to solve the fucking problem before we even get to the problem. That's what it's for. That's what time traveling is for. So that's what's probably going to cause the population increase real thoroughly. And if we really have no kind of catastrophes to worry about, that's probably going to make it even worse. Chances are the catastrophes that happen are really going to set the population up, because that means that there's not a lot of land, so to speak. And bruh, the minute they have a project in Mars, motherfuckers is going there. You paying me to go to Mars, motherfuckers, it's fine. It's way too damn populated down here. Maybe I could go up there. It makes sense. It makes sense, and that's ideal. That sounds very fucking good. That actually is what we need. Now I don't know whether after the time travel investigation, water increases. If water increases, that means water increases. That means you shouldn't have contaminated water. That's a whole nother issue that I'm definitely on top of also, The Flint incident should definitely be corrected within seconds after this. You know what I mean? They should easily get some new fucking pipes. New pipes, bruh. New pipes. How was it constructed before? Nobody fucking knows, right? But at the end of the day, we don't want this shit happening to every other place in the country. You know what I mean? Honestly. So, with that said, Africa goes through shortages all the time. There was almost a California shortage. It was very, very on the low, but this water is still not Flint, Michigan water. You know what I mean? We have reservoirs in the north. We have to, it's crazy. At the same time, they can easily take control over that. Be careful. Be careful. If a glacier melts, I highly doubt it's going to flood parts of America. I highly doubt it. Because a glacier, in order to melt a glacier, that takes a lot of time, number one. And number two, I've did a test where if you throw a bunch of ice in the water, it's not going to overflow it. You know what I mean? If it's a part of that water. That's why you have, the weather trip. There's a weather thing. You heard of that conspiracy of the people making weather? Okay. I believe that the shit doesn't work. All right? It doesn't work. They can only make it hotter. Right? They can only make it hotter, and the way they make it warmer, it's very detrimental to the very electricity of the atmosphere. All right, there's an electric current going through the atmosphere, which is static, and static electricity is kind of what we was using before digital. So digital is a whole nother form of electricity. It's cleaner, it's not electric, but it's still it's a frequency. We discovered this shit. Nobody knows how, but we managed to switch over every single TV to this frequency. So, with that said, that static is electrifying the earth almost. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It can make it colder, but it's definitely gonna hurt in the long term real bad. You know what I mean? Real bad. I always have this, theory, if it doesn't rain, you don't get no water. You know what I mean? So if there ain't no floods, listen, people ain't gonna survive. So, I'm live from New York City and shit. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. They saying it's gonna be underwater. Some people saying it's gonna be destroyed. I'm not sure. At the end of the day, though, I'm stuck here, so I'll figure it out. We'll see. If I make it past 2020, I think we will be off just fucking fine. But I always had this theory of 2023. That's just in my mind. Because once the New World Side Order came about, I was thinking all kind of shit just to keep up as an artist with him, So he was coming up with some ill shit. I was coming up with some ill shit, and we just performed because the songs was already done. It wasn't like we was like, okay, this is how we're gonna do this album. No, that wasn't the case at all. That's why I totally believe this shit. Part 2 coming up very soon. We're gonna talk about aliens versus time travel. All right. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into depth about how the aliens and time travel get together and they're rocking. All right? Have a good night and keep calm. Time travel. Peace.